Any good day starts with a good meal, and this one starts at Tenkai, tucked under a covered arcade in Kamakura. Easy to miss unless you already know to look. Ikura bursting orange against glass-clear shirasu, torched unagi, and sweet amebi stacked into the kaizendan beside it. This is why the alarm was worth setting. Shonen Cider chases it down, a local soft drink, not the alcoholic kind, poured over ice while the bowls empty out fast. Scraped clean is the only review that matters here. Empty bowls scraped clean, the only review that matters. From Tenkai, it's a short walk back to the water. Enoshima Shrine marks the start of the island proper. The path narrows here, cut straight into the hillside. A red bridge arcing overhead. Most visitors miss this route entirely, heading straight for the shrine instead. This is the view most people stop for. Katase Higashihama, curving back toward the mainland, ryokan rooftops stacked down toward the water. And that rocky shelf below is the giveaway, the caves just beneath it. Not every good find on Enoshima needs a menu. This lane sells nori and warabi mochi straight from the storefront, kakigōri, and soba lining the stairs behind it. Nakamura has been doing ryokan since before Enoshima famous was even a phrase. And just past it, Ryūren sits under a leaning pine older than the shop itself. Weather turns overcast here, but Enoshima still has shirasu on the board. Then the rooftops part, and there's sea candle right on cue. And just past it, Cafe Madu breaks from the seafood theme entirely. This gate ties back to 1182. Minamoto no Yoritomo himself donated it, founder of the Kamakura shogunate. Past the torii, hundreds of Iema plaques take over, each one a wish paid for in a few hundred yen. Inside the hall, a ceiling painting called Happo Nirami no Kami, the turtle that watches you no matter where you stand. A quieter stretch of the shrine grounds, hydrangeas, stone markers, an offering hall with its own quiet ritual. Ryūgū, the dragon god shrine, officially Watatsumi-no-miya, built into the rock itself. Legend says a 5-headed dragon terrorized this coastline until the goddess enshrined at Enoshima won it over. From here the path climbs again, all the way up to Ryūren no Kane, the dragon love bell. Ring it with someone, legend says, and you're bound to Enoshima's dragon god for good. The plaque tells the full story. The dragon terrorized the coast until a heavenly maiden appeared as the clouds cleared, and the island itself rose from the sea in front of her. He proposed. She refused him for his cruelty. He changed, and eventually she said yes, today worshipped as Benzaiten right here. Heart-shaped locks on the fence below prove the legend still gets taken seriously. One last stretch of shade before the trees let go of the view, and then the grill takes over. Sazae straight off the shell, scallops riding shotgun beside it. Womate watches the top of the steps, but the real destination's below, Chigogafuchi, the flat volcanic shelf at Enoshima's southern tip. From up here, the roofs just fall away. Chigogafuchi wasn't always walkable either. This shelf only broke the surface after the 1923 earthquake. The name goes back further. A Kamakura-era tale of a temple page said to have leapt from this cliff rather than face an unwanted pursuit. Down at rock level now, just a shelf big enough for one person and a fishing line. Iwaya. This stone marks the entrance to Enoshima's original pilgrimage site, one of Kanagawa's 50 scenic spots. Every view down here comes with a price, and that price is stairs. The path turns modern here, a red walkway swapped in for rock scrambling. It has a name, Iwaya Bashi, the last stretch of dry ground before the stairs drop you onto the rocks themselves. Netting holds the cliff face together here, a reminder this whole walkway exists because the rock underneath it doesn't always stay put. One bright shirt against all that gray rock and blue water, and then just past it, the gate. Inside now, and the light does the work Benzaiten's legend can't. Carved rock, wall panels tracing the dragon and the maiden who tamed him. Every visitor carries their own light through here too. A paper lantern, candle burning inside, the dragon coiled across the paper itself. The birthplace of Enoshima Shrine itself, not a replica. This cave is where it started. The cave doesn't just hide the light, it frames it, every gap in the rock turning into its own window on the same sea. And then one cave becomes two, a short outdoor crossing connecting the first chamber to the second. Layer after layer of rock, carved out one tide at a time. The same coastline the whole walk down has been circling, just from one more angle. The second chamber opens through a low stone gate, netting stretched overhead where the rock face starts to shed. Narrow, open, narrow, like the rock itself is controlling the pace. And then it gives way to color. An illuminated diorama, the dragon from the Benzaiten legend built right into the wall. Clap and the cave answers with a roar. And then, without much warning, the tunnel opens. Stairs up, daylight, where a minute ago there was only lantern light and stone. Back outside and the cave already feels like a different island. Dark stone, traded for a red rail and open water. Dessert arrives looking less like food and more like a glacier. Kakigōri, doused in a blue that barely looks edible. Then sazae straight off the grill, eaten right out of the shell, tasting like the ocean decided to concentrate itself. Lunch rush at altitude, easy to see why once that view opens up. Even the trees out here grow sideways, bent flat by the sea wind. The island cuts away sharply, cliff, rock, sea, cliff again. Proof this place was never built for walking, just for looking. Turn one corner and the postcard views disappear, just ivy and quiet houses, and then somehow we're back at the beach. Umi no ai, beer sweating on the table, the tide close enough to hear. Feet on cobblestone, heading toward the station, shops lighting up, day trippers thinning out. Every storefront here sells the same postcard version of the island, and somehow it still doesn't feel like a tourist trap. Little Oak's been hiding in plain sight since 1972. Kakigōri and Tendon share a takeout window. This street doesn't pick a lane. Ramen Hareruya, the shop that clears the sky, feels like the island winking on the way out. And right on cue, a train pulls in wrapped in one piece. Turns out, it wasn't a one-off. The whole train's dressed for it, straight down the platform. Last train of the stretch, Kamakura bound. The sign lights up, and just like that, the doors open on the second half of the day. Kamakura Station, properly dark now, the day fully handed off to evening. Narrower streets, fewer crowds. down a covered arcade that's been here since it was called Marushichi Shotengai. And dinner's waiting. Sato. Lantern lit, Norin hanging. Sake poured until it overflows into the box beneath it. Waste as a form of generosity. Next to sazae and fish still smoking from the grill. Dinner at Sato doesn't ease you in. First bite of the night, and there's no rushing it. Chopsticks lift one piece of katsuo, dip it into the soy, hold it there just long enough to soak in. Then it's gone. One motion, chopsticks back down, before the next thought even finishes. Doesn't matter how many courses are still coming, the first bite always gets the full attention. Sazae shows up again, grilled on the street earlier, plated in butter and broth here, same shellfish, completely different treatment. Then the abalone, sliced right in its own shell, drowned in butter and negi. One more stop before calling it a night. Tensuke, our favorite snack bar in Kamakura. It deserves its own full video rather than a cameo at the end of this one, so that's coming. If you want to be there when it does, subscribe's right there. Either way, thanks for spending Enoshima and Kamakura with us. See you next time.